Please, listen. Just listen.
This continent has suffered so much and continues to suffer because of imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind. Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our lands belong to them. Our subsoil belongs to them. They have never been able to change the logic until today.
Oh, Ibrahim Troare, the Burkina Faso president, just sent serious warning to Donald Trump, the current United States president, and Western leaders. He told them that Ibrahim Troare, is going to make sure that all blacks return to Africa, that nothing should happen to black Americans. Blacks living in the United Kingdom, all over Europe, all over Western countries, that the leaders over there should make sure that nothing happens to them, that he will stop at nothing to make this happen very soon. All of them must return back where they belong. That he's gonna do it, that is not a Western puppet like other African leaders here. Them can't control him, them cannot tell him what to do. That he's out already to make this thing happen. And he went on to say that he's not afraid of assassination. They can come, but what he's promising them, that they can never succeed. He's not like others. He's gonna make this happen. That all the blacks you are seeing in the United States, in UK, they are all Africans. During the slave trade, they sold their parents to United Kingdom, to Jamaica, to UK. All these blacks you are seeing, they are all Africans. If you check, if you go through the roots, you will know that all are Africans. That he's gonna make sure all of them return to where they belong and develop Africa. He's not afraid. Guys, this video might be long, but please make sure you watch this video right now. Listen to what this guy, the 36 years old president, said.
They steal, they plunder our states, they bring everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like the master and always satisfy him. Do you know who these slaves of Salon are? Well, we are going to explain to you what they are. They are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the master slave has always known how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us to the benefit of their master. These individuals continue, against all odds, to help the master plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic polls, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. Very well, if we are as poor as they say. But when the time has come to take responsibility, we have asked this master to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave? When we take the case of Niger, for more than 40 years, some countries have been exploiting uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It is the light. But in Niger, it is the darkness that has served us. When you go to our states, our soils are full of precious metals, such as gold. But often there is not even the slightest road accessible to reach the areas where they exploit gold, even less certain basic social services. This is why we have decided to revolt and take the fate of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples. But when we decided so, we were approached by some saloon slaves to pass on the message of their master. Because they had created this kind of polymer chain that rises to the heads of our states to serve them.
Et nous sommes venus briser la chaîne.
And we came to break the chain. And it is inconceivable for them.
Ils nous ont donc approchés et ils nous ont
They
demandé
approached
de
us
rentrer dans
and
l'air
asked us to enter the ranks, to make the elite leave that must lead Africa.
qui doit diriger l'Afrique parce qu'ils ont une élite formée et formatée.
Because they have an elite formed and formatted that must follow, that is embedded in this chain. We refused to enter their ranks. And then the hostilities began.
Les hostilités ont commencé. Ils ont fait fourvoyer dans nos zones.
They have sent several mercenaries and trainers to our area. The agents have descended into the Sahel to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our people, hoping to revolt them.
Espérer les révolter. En plus de ces attaques sur le terrain,
in addition to these attacks on the ground, the attacks on communication, manipulation, and disinformation are full in their ranks.
Mais les peuples du Sahel ont compris.
But the people of the Sahel have understood, and we will never be able to be manipulated again. They know where they come from, they know what they are doing, and they know where they are going.
Nous n'allons plus permettre cela.
We will no longer allow this. People are awake, and people are fighting today, not for ourselves, but for future generations.
Et merci à tous pour le combat qui est livré. Cela ne nous fait jamais pleurer.
And thank you all for the fight that is being fought. This will never make us cry. We will not tremble. We will fight. We will fight for real independence, for our freedom.
Parce que pour faire peur au peuple de l'AES,
because to scare the people of the Sahel, these individuals have only 3 terms in their mouths: democracy, freedom, human rights.
Bien sûr,
of course, their local values are only elected in a democratic, free and transparent process according to their values.
Libre et transparent selon eux leurs valeurs. Quoi de plus normal?
What is more normal that we want to impose this on ourselves because it is they who dictate the rules.
Très bien. Nous avons décidé de nous assumer.
Very well, we have decided to take responsibility. Do you know why on June 26, 2023, when Niger decided to turn the page, the slaves of Salon and their masters got on the big horses?
Et leurs maîtres sont montés sur les grands chevaux. Ils ont mis leurs valets locaux en avant.
They put their local values forward and decided to wage a war against the Nigerian people. So we said, anyone who dares to take up arms against Niger will face us. Because we will wage a merciless war until the last drop of blood for anyone who dares to attack our states. This word, this decision we made yesterday, is current today and will be current tomorrow and forever.
Often say something to call on African heads of state to wake up and take care of our youth so that we can start our real development. We are often misunderstood. Some have publicly opposed us. Some have publicly opposed us because they feel indexed. But I can assure you, youth, that when we find ourselves in the quarters, these same heads of state tell us that we are on the right track and that this is what needs to be done so that Africa can rise again. So we ask them questions like, why don't you do like us? Why don't you support us? Some tell us that they have the means, and some tell us that they can't. Dear elders, African heads of state, at the end of this podium, I would like to say that African peoples are the most peaceful. That African peoples are the most peaceful. When you recognize a wrong, you have to tell the people. When you recognize a wrong, you have to tell the people. We are not afraid to come out and tell the people we are sorry. We have been compromised. We have been mistreated. We have been compromised by several things, and we ask for forgiveness, and we come back on the right path and to start working really for the independence of our states and our emancipation. And I think it is possible. If we remain in this posture of fear, we will be cowardly and history will judge us. Our children will ask questions. Our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history. There is no place for cowardice. If our ancestors had been cowardly, we would not be here. Do you remember? I will give you an example of the people of Bamileke and Bassa. I want to talk about the Cameroonians, the union of the population of Cameroon, which since the 1950s has started a relentless fight against the Poles, but they have been massacred. The French colonial armies, in turn, have dispatched infantry battalions, tanks, helicopters, have annihilated anti-village. The most inhuman tortures have taken place during this period. You can do research on what they call the cart or the bakasima. Hundreds of thousands of people have been decimated in Africa because they dared to ask their settlers to leave their land. A civil war that lasted several years. That is to say that people dared to face the imperialists with their bare hands so that we could be here. There is no reason why we cannot face the imperialists so that our future generations can live. There are many examples throughout Africa of brave men who refused to be cowardly, who fought, who faced. Well, let us be worthy of these people. We are their descendants, and let us be worthy of them. A coward cannot be worthy. Let us not be cowards, young Africans, because a coward is always a traitor.